Jake, my guy, it's been a minute, so I had to run you down. We haven't wrapped. Catch me up, man. How's everything with you and the fam?
Oh man, life goes fast when you got kids. You mark it by end of school year and birthdays, and like, holy smokes, they're fit. My oldest is turning 16. What does that mean? I've been out of the game now for 20 years, and if he's 16, it means I'm getting up there too. But slowing down when I can, taking the time to create memories, and still continuing to just believe in what I'm up to and have fun, meeting people and talking to people and doing my thing. It's a different path than most, but I enjoy it and I'm having fun doing it.
You've always taken a different path. That's why I've always appreciated you, always respected you, and you've got a good perspective, man. Time is a bitch. It is crazy. We have a 25-year-old now. We have a senior, soon-to-be senior in Boulder. It is wild where time goes. In fact, Jake, when I think about time, let me just mention this. Can you believe it's been 22 years since our guy Pat Tillman passed away? And I bring this up because it was just Memorial Day. 22 years. Can you believe that?
Yeah, time flies. I mean, that was a really tough moment for a lot of people. A lot of people close to Pat, especially his parents and his brothers, his family. Still, they're living with that every day. And I try to honor Pat and be remembering the good times I had with him and the positive things he did in the world when he was here for just a short time. So obviously, it's exciting to, as time flies, we wish we could put a stop to some time, but that ain't happening. And so enjoying those moments, remembering things. It's been a while since I've been on the field too. So it's all good. Better to be living through time and experiencing it than to be gone and not.
Hey, Jake, to that point, we're on the right side of the dirt. That's a good thing. We're on the right side of the grass. That's a good thing, yes. Right? So I get that. Look, you and I have talked about Pat in the past, so I don't want to belabor that, but I do want to bring this up. What should a younger generation that may not be fully aware of Pat's story, because, everything comes back. You've got a TikTok generation, and they explore those who came before them. But for those who have not, what should people know about Pat that they don't know about and the sacrifice that he made and his legacy?
Well, first and foremost, Pat was an amazing friend down to the square bottom of it. I mean, he was just an outstanding person to have crossed paths with. It was once you got into his circle, he was going to check on you, going to call you, going to challenge you, going to make you a better person just by being Pat. Losing him has been tough just because you don't know what he was up to in his mind, what was going to be next, what was next on his agenda. If anything, he motivates me to continue to do the things I say I'm going to do, to step up and follow through on anything, whether that's learning how to play the ukulele or traveling the world, like whatever you say you're going to do, get up and do it. And then the second part that I think is really important in today's landscape with college football, the fact that ASU has a statue of him there, the Cardinals have his statue of Pat, the number 42 is on the jerseys for the Sun Devils. Pat played ball because he loved to play ball. If he was playing today, it'd be interesting, with the NIL and all the money and the transfers and guys going to new schools for more money. Pat would have hated it. Pat was a real human being who wanted to make a mark and do what he could do right where he was. And so it's interesting, these young kids at ASU, I always remind them that if you don't love the game and you don't love the guy you're sitting next to while you're putting in the hard work and getting ready to go play, then you should take that jersey off, or at least have him remove that patch, because that patch puts a little bit of weight on each individual that steps out onto that field and is honoring and showing number 42 for the Sun Devils to represent and play ball with your heart and soul. Stand by who you are, be genuine, be a leader, be a badass tone setter. And when it comes down to it, play ball because you love it, not because you're going to get a deal at some taco shack, or you're going to get a car, or you're going to make more money here or there. Play ball because you love to play football. And I think that's one message I think Pat would want me to say, to remember why you're stepping onto the field. It's not always about the fame and the money. It's sometimes just about getting grass stains on your jersey, because there is the best grass in the country at ASU, and the playing surface there is amazing. But Pat would have said, go out and play the game because you love it. All that other stuff will come in time.
Hey, Jake, I love that response so much. I'm so glad I asked you that question, and you answered it like that. Normally, when somebody says it's not about the money, my response, Jake, is it's about one thing, the money. But you're right. Not with Pat. Not with Pat. Pat was a different dude altogether. And I love that notion that you sometimes have him in the back of your mind, even to this day. Like, I feel this pressure that I've got to finish or I have to do what I said because Pat, like, he's going to hold you accountable. Like, Pat was that guy. If you made a promise to yourself or somebody else, you had to keep that promise. And 20 plus years later, that's still in the back of your mind. That tells you, that speaks to how powerful he was. You know, something else, Jake, you always hear college years are your best years. College years are your best years. How about you? I mean, you were at Arizona State. You led the Sun Devils to the school's first ever Rose Bowl appearance in '86. Does that apply to you? Were those the best of times for you?
Yeah, I mean, we had a few tough years there. I mean, I doubted, what I was doing in my sophomore year and whether I should continue to put my heart and soul into playing this game when I wasn't seeing it across the board on the whole team. And then we made a shift. You know, my junior year, we did some things differently. Established a leadership council. Bruce Snyder let us take care of the little things so that he could coach us and put us in position to win. And that was a big year. And then that senior year, you know, the work we put in, the tough losses to U of A, my freshman and junior year that kept us from a bowl game, those were all part of this story, this whole path that we were on to eventually go and do something that even today, the ASU faithful talk about that team. And it's 30 years. 30 years ago, we went to the Rose Bowl and we lost to Ohio State. Like, had we won, you know, I don't know what they would have done, made statues of the entire team and put them all around the stadium. But whatever it was, you know, it was a long time ago. And those were some really, really great years because you're getting away from home. You're learning how to live, how to manage your time. And you're getting influenced and coached by and advised by some really amazing people. The coaching staff that Bruce had to bring all of us together and to coach us, to give us the freedoms we deserved and we earned, to go out and become the young men we were that 96 season. It culminated in something really special. And Pat was a huge part of that, a tone setter. Like I said, I never doubted if he was ready to go. And that's not just on the game day. That was on the walkthrough before the game. That was on the plane ride there. That was on the everything, the weight room, in the cafeteria, how you treated your the custodians. Like, it all comes together and creates the opportunity to do something special like we did. And some great coaches put us in that position. And then the players, you know, that's what it's all about. You know, when the game goes down, people aren't there to watch the coach make a play on that big play sheet. They're there to watch us. And we put it down. We had a great team. We loved each other. We cared about each other. And yeah, college years are really special. I'm really glad we didn't have a bunch of money and distractions and all these, social media posts and building your brand and all this crap, because you could just go play ball. And there's something of that being lost that, you know, you'll know the ones that are authentic when they come through, that are there because they'd be playing their ass off no matter what they were doing. If it was a pickup game in the street, or playing a flag football game down the road, or working out in the middle of the summer, they were going to bring it. And so you'll see those far and few between now, because I think a lot of kids are motivated by the money and the opportunity to make some cash, put it away, and take care of your family. But yeah, the college years are outstanding. I wouldn't change a thing and make that decision over again. I would go to the same place, Arizona State. I love that stadium. I love that town. People treat me so well down there. And when I went there, I wanted to do something special. And sure enough, we almost pulled off a national championship. The main reason why I went there, but we sure did something that was indelible upon a lot of the ASU faithful.
Dude, you did. You nearly pulled that off. But what you did was still so iconic and so special. You know, Jake, it's really interesting. Like, to your point, that even as a sophomore, it's like, this is not coming together. I don't know if I want to do this. And then you stick it out, and then it works out, and you almost finish, but it's still great. It's still great. But then even you retired at a young age. So when you were in it, you were all in, but you did retire at a pretty young age. So was that a case whereby being an athlete and being an NFL player did not define you? Or how did you approach that exactly? Because you did get out of 33.
Yeah, I mean, there were times that, you know, it was me. That was it, the NFL and the game, and that's who you were. You had to take that on, especially as a quarterback, QB number one. I always say, you know, the owners are the most important part of a franchise, and after that, it's the quarterback. People will argue with me that it's the head coach, and I'm like, no, head coaches get fired, QBs stay. If you're the guy, they'll build a team around you. And, really the leaving early wasn't anything more than the fact that my body had taken a beating for 14 straight years, counting ASU when I started as a freshman. And I wasn't built for this game. I'm not a big, huge guy. I wasn't in the game to try to get 5, 6, 7 Super Bowls. I just wanted one. I just wanted to get there and get one. Say thanks to all my people afterwards. But that didn't happen. We came close again, and close. They always say, if you're a hardcore, grinder, and success is the only thing that you can accept. Second place and losing the Rose Bowl, missing a national championship, and then losing to Pittsburgh in the AFC championship, you're failed. You didn't make it. But I look back and the things that I accomplished, the teams I was on, the players that I played with, what an amazing time, what an amazing thing to go through, to spend 10 years playing at a high level. Not always, of course, I had some bad moments, but all in all, I put my heart and soul into it. And when the season was over, I would take my breaks, get away from the game, completely leave it, go to, mountain biking and backpacking, playing handball, golfing. But then when it was time to come back, it was on again. And that was usually, in late February, early March, start working out and get ready to go, try to be the best that I could be for my teammates. And then obviously for the organization, go out and do my job right. So after 10 years, I was done mentally, physically, spiritually. It was time to hang them up. I don't have any regrets. Although, when that AFC championship weekend comes around, I always have a little pang in my chest, like, God damn, we were so close. We were so close to getting to the Super Bowl. But all in all, it was a hell of a run, a great time. I made some amazing friends and created so many memories, not only for myself, but for my family. And then, the thousands and thousands of fans out there that can remember the way I went out and played the game.
It's such a great perspective. You get it. You ran your race, and you were competitive as hell. And I never bought that whole thing, Jake. Like, the Buffalo Bills always had such a bad rap. Like, hey, man, you lost 4 Super Bowls in a row. And I always try to maintain, man, do you know how fucking good you have to be to lose 4 Super Bowls in a row? Like, if you lose in the Super Bowl, it doesn't make you the worst team in the league. It means you were the second best. So I never, ever fully understood that. And I know you're kind of talking about that. You had a great take you just had that I want to follow up on. That the most important person is the owner, but the second most important person in any franchise is QB1 and not the head coach. Let me ask you this. When you went to Denver, where you had some really, really good years, you played for Mike Shanahan, who was a really powerful guy, an offensive mastermind, and a guy who was really tough on quarterbacks. Who was the second most important person in that franchise at that time? You or Shanahan?
John Elway.
Okay. Tell me.
Always John Elway.
Yeah.
Shanahan, what a brilliant coach. I feel so lucky to have played for him, to have learned the West Coast style offense from Mark Trestman in Arizona. I got a really good introduction to that. And I felt like in 98, when we made the playoffs, we were running it at a high level, putting up mad yardage. I threw for 2,500 yards in the second half of that season, just the second half. And so when I got to Denver, going in there with Mike, and then Gary Kubiak was still around those first 3 years. It was amazing. They took what I could do really well. They built upon that. They expanded upon my boot out and rolling out abilities and that downhill running game. And we became a force on offense. For a few years there, and especially in 2005, we were one of the most well-primed offenses you'll see on a football field. When Coobs left, I came back for that 10th season. I really wanted to win that Super Bowl in 2005. That was a great football team. And I was ready to retire after that. If we won and I had that ring, I was saying peace out, because it was enough for me. That's all I really wanted. I'd been paid way more than I ever thought I would be paid to play a game that I loved with my heart and soul. And I always say this, people don't believe me, but I would have played for a hell of a lot less. It didn't matter the money. It didn't make me go approach the game differently. It didn't make me talk to my linemen differently. It didn't change me one bit. If anything, you got to get nicer clothes and play the part, but otherwise I just went about my way and played and knew that, man, if I can set this money aside and be smart with it, I've set myself up for financial freedom and the ability to help a lot of my family and to do some really fun things. And so, yeah, the whole thing, I'd say when I got to Denver, Shanahan was still very important because he was also the GM. So kind of hard to say GM and coach, but I was still, right there, number 2, I believe, because you build a team around your quarterback, and the coach is a huge part of that. But I believe still that you look at that Bronco team right now. I mean, Bo Nix has shown us he can play. They're going to build that team around him, and if Sean Payton doesn't get him there, he'll be gone. But Bo will still be around, and that happens quite a bit across the league.
Hey, Jake, is Bo a guy, and you've got a podcast you do with your guy, Nate Jackson, and I know you guys talk Broncos quite a bit. Is Bo a guy to you, when you look at him and you watch him, he's rehabbing right now, but when you look at him, do you see a guy that could be like the guy for the next 10 years there? Does he have that kind of game?
I think so. And I think he's only going to get better. He's older, so he's more mature. He's not really a young gun coming into the league, looking at all the bright lights and being, oh, wow, look at this. He's focused. He's got a newborn this offseason. Of course, coming back from an injury, you're going to have all the people talking about his foot. That's all they're going to talk about. And I challenge them to shift their focus from will he be able to make it to, like, let's all think about his ankle healing up 100% and being strong for the rest of his career, instead of wondering if he's going to make it and it was injured before and all this stuff. Yeah, I think Bo has extreme amount of talent when he can slow down a little bit, which I see happening this year, and stand in that pocket, use his eyes, anticipate a little bit more, not rely so much on his cannon, because he has a wicked cannon. He's made some throws I was like, my jaw dropped. But there's also been some throws that he's missed because he's trying to gun it into a circle, confirm, then throw, instead of anticipate, throw, and know that your guy's going to get there. And that's that next level that quarterbacks will get to as they progress in an offense. They're bringing Davis Webb in to call the plays on offense, which I believe those two have a really, really close bond. And I know how important it is to have a great relationship with your OC, because when Kubiak was here, me and Gary got along so well. He never yelled at me. He just challenged me. He made sure that I didn't go and take it easy or be complacent in any way. And so that relationship is really important. And I believe that they have that there. And I love what Bo's done. It's too bad he's got he's not playing for the money either, right? But it's too bad he has to wait to renegotiate his contract because he's on that rookie one, because right now he's been super fun to watch. And really he's the heartbeat of that team.
Jake, you mentioned that you were not the biggest guy and that you got everything you had out of what you have. You and I have talked in the past about the toll that the game could take on your body physically, the toll the game could take on your mind. That led you to explore various ways to heal and recover. How did that lead you ultimately to non-psychedelic mushrooms? For those who don't know this, I would love to get into this with you once again. How did you find that? How did you get there?
Well, I mean, I was raised to always question what you're putting in your body, especially, doctors giving you pills and doing this. You always want to know what is this? What's it going to do? What are there side effects to this? Is there long-term side effects? And my mom was a very healthy, holistic woman who raised us on a really healthy diet, fed us really well, would give us garlic and honey when we got a cold. I was around alternative medicines growing up. So when you get into the machine, you don't really take those. You're taking anti-inflammatories because you can't miss.
That's anti-machine, Jake. Sorry, I never interrupt guests, but that's anti-machine. Once you get into the machine in the NFL, man, you just put in what you have to put in to get on the field, because availability is your best ability. Like, you were brought up in a totally different way, right?
Yeah, I mean, but also to think for yourself, to believe in yourself, and to stand up when there's a wrong or when there's something that needs to change. So that really was, I think, why my teammates loved me, is because I would step up for them in times and speak out when I felt like, hey, we're doing our best, coach, and you're ripping our ass. Like, enough's enough. Like, these guys are giving it their all. I know, because I've spent time with every one of them. We work our asses off when you're not watching. So I know when they're working. And, that it was, the grind was tough. You didn't want to step off the field because there might be someone coming up to take your spot. And so I played through a ton of injuries that I probably should have taken some time, mainly too, because I felt I owed it to my team. I'm a quarterback, and everyone always, the quarterbacks, they don't get hit. They don't get hit in practice. Well, man, in the game, man, I was getting blasted by these guys. They loved to hit me. I had a sharp tongue sometimes if they wanted to go there. But I played fast. I played hard. Every play was the one. I wasn't thinking about the last one or the next one. I was fully going into that one right there. So I put my body into a lot of positions to get harmed. And so the anti-inflammatories, I stayed away from the strong pain meds because I was lucky. I never had any serious injuries to have to go get a surgery or break anything really bad that caused that much pain. But the anti-inflammatories were really the one that ultimately drove me away. When at a young age, 31, 32, I was walking around like an old man, and when I wasn't taking those. So the post-career, we could go into a whole, podcast. We could talk for a whole entire couple hours on what guys go through after they get done with the game, and you're feeling great and you're still in good shape. And then 10 years, 15 years down the road, when your body changes and you're not lifting like you used to, you may not be eating that diet like you had right there in front of you that they were providing. So you have to find ways to take care of your body. We can't just go on taking anti-inflammatories your whole life if you want to live a long time. And I do. I want to live a long time. I want to be as healthy as I can. And back to what my mom always taught me was, don't just take stuff. Ask the doctors, what is this? Why am I taking this? What's this going to do? And so getting into, post-career, having some surgeries on my hips and going through some rehab, I got into, using cannabis. CBD was really a huge thing for me. Charlotte's Web, taking their CBD extract, the anti-inflammatory properties, the ability to take away the pain that I was going through, help me rest, help me sleep. And then that led me to meet my best friend, Del Jolly, and partner with Umbo, and then meet Rashad Evans, who's also one of the co-founders. And we started taking functional mushrooms, and people saw me doing the cannabis thing and CBD, and not speaking for THC and marijuana, but obviously backing up its claims for medicinal value, for helping people that were sick. 100% you should be allowed to take a plant that grows on the earth. Same with mushrooms. Now they think I'm trying to get them to trip out when I give them a bar or have them take some mushrooms. I'm like, these are non-psychedelic. Well, what do you mean? I'm like, they're functional. They've been used for centuries in China. They've been used in alternative medicines. In fact, most of the pharmaceuticals have 30 to 40% of fungi, and I may be off on the percentages there, but some kind of fungi in them. So like, mushrooms are everywhere. And the feeling I got from not only taking the CBD and using some cannabis when I needed it, but the functional mushrooms, the amount of inflammation that I got rid of in my body, and the sleep that I get, the recovery that I get, the energy levels I have, I attributed that to those mushrooms. And then they lead you to kind of start making some better choices and understanding what you put in your body and how you speak about your body and how you treat your body have a lot to do with how you're going to feel day to day. And I don't feel perfect every day, but I know that, moving is important, and I want to be able to move all the way till I'm not here no more. And that's going to take, the finding something like functional mushrooms to help me take that edge off, to help me have the energy levels I need to stay as young as I possibly can.
It's such good information, and whatever stigma may or may not be attached, it's good that you can clear that up. Jake, you probably know so many people, though, that don't have that information that you played with or played against, that are really suffering right now, and they don't really know where to turn. They don't really know where to go. I know you've talked about this, but I'm curious, how hard did you take Junior Seau's passing? And when you first heard that, what went through your mind?
Man, that was really, it's funny you bring that up. And being retired, leaving the game, having a lot of people question, why did you go? Why you had years left? You could have played 6 more years, blah, blah, blah. And when he took his life, it really was a shock, because playing against Junior and then being able to interact with him off the field a couple times, man, the guy was full of life and so happy and so effusive and so fun to be around. Even as an opponent, he's one of my favorite opponents, because he was just out there laughing and flying around and talking shit and just having a blast. And so when he killed himself, it really was a shock, because you see on the outside somebody, but you really don't know what's happening down deep in their heart, in their soul, and in their brain. And that whole talk of CTE, the whole talk of it being irreversible, and even still the narrative around it, I don't like it. I'm one that wants to find an alternative, or find something that maybe it isn't the cure, or it isn't something that's going to save everybody's life. But if you can find a thing in nature that could maybe reverse some of the damage, or get your body working better so that you have better blood flow, for example. Cordyceps mushrooms enhance your blood flow, and they oxygenate your cells at a cellular level. And so, if there's something there and if it can help these guys, I'm all for it. And that's not even talking about the benefits that we are hearing over and over. And, the president, for all he's done, one great thing that I believe came out of his so far is that he's researching these psychedelics and researching ibogaine and lifting the limitations on that, because it's helping so many people who are suffering mentally with some sort of disorder or some sort of, past trauma, that I believe, that's where the true healing can also start for some of these guys when they've lost hope. And the last thing they're telling you with the NFL is, good luck getting your benefits. Better donate your brain to the brain lab so we'll know why it is that you died, an angry, grumpy old man, and it's sad because we were at the top of our game, riding on the top echelon of performance and athleticism. We were the best. We were warriors. We were not allowed to show any sign of weakness. And when you get out of the game, your body starts to show, where you hit all those pains and where you took all those traumas and those drop balls and those fights with your whoever. I mean, it stores it in your body. And when you can free yourself from that, whatever that may be, I mean, it could just be breath work, it could be yoga, it could be putting away the alcohol and trying to just eat clean, drink good water, get good rest. When you get to that point, there's options out there, and I have to speak about it because I'm not perfect. Like I said earlier, I don't wake up every day and run 10 miles and do all this stuff. I mean, I have pains. I wake up, but I get through it because I know that as soon as I start moving, I feel better.
Yeah, but Jake, you've worked really hard at it. You've worked really hard at it, and you have to work really hard at it. I mean, before you go, when you got out of it, what was more challenging, physically how you felt, or loss of identity because you'd always been that guy and you'd put so much into it?
Yeah, I mean, physically I felt pretty good, until about, 8 years out, the body started going, wait, you're not lifting weights like you used to. Your hips took some damage, your back, your neck. So after that, I started, taking care of myself a little better and committing to doing yoga and breath work. And, I talk to a lot of the guys. I see a lot of I live in Colorado, I live in Boulder. So I got a lot of guys I see that played for the Broncos. And you say, like these guys that don't know about it, but a lot of them have heard what I'm talking about, and they've heard me offer it to them. I've been there trying to say, hey, this is something you should try. Yet they still seem to not want to believe, or they just don't know how to get there. And that's what the challenge is, and not even a challenge. It's just, I'm going to live the way I live. And when I see these guys and they ask me questions and I'm honest and tell them what I do, maybe it can get a couple of them to come to a breathwork course, or come try a yoga class, or not drink so much alcohol, or try to get off of those medications, maybe try something different. And, we have to work harder at age 51. I got to work almost as hard as I had to when I was younger, just to stay active and going, because, we beat our bodies up. And I played QB, so they hit me hard back in the day when they would hit the quarterbacks. But those guys that were running the ball and those guys in the interior, we know what their lifespan is. And if there's a way to extend that, and not only just their lifespan, but their health span, we got to explore these natural ways. And that's what I'm here to do, is to try to be a conduit of really this ancient healing knowledge that's made aware of. And I've tried it. And, if I can get a few guys to feel better, or if I can get them to sleep better, if I get their blood pressure to regulate, or maybe their gut to get a little more balanced so that they can think a little clearer and remember where they put their keys. Because when you forget those little things and they're telling us, oh man, you had how many concussions? Your mind can make you spiral down so fast that I've seen it. I've watched numerous guys go down there, and you hope to catch them before, something bad happens. And that's really what we have to do as a brotherhood of former players, is keep tabs on each other. And so I try to do that as best I can.
Hey, Jake, before you go, since I got 10 years on you and I'm experiencing some of these things, and I never played pro ball or ball of any level at anything, like, for people watching or listening that want to extend and are concerned about longevity and mental acuity, all the things you're talking about, sleeping better, feeling better. Does this product, your products, does it work for them? How do they get more information?
I can't say that it'll work for them. I can't say, take this, you're going to do this. But if you try it, it's not going to harm you. It won't make you any worse. It's a very positive intervention for a lot of people that are looking for answers because they don't have any. No one can give them any answers in our medical ways here in the Western medicine. So there are some great doctors out there. There are some great reasons to have our Western medicine. But when you're trying to extend your life, to live longer, to feel better each day, to have focus, to have energy, to sleep better, it's not just going to be taking UMBO products. You got to make the choices too to do things better.
A lifestyle, right? A lifestyle thing.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lifestyle along with it, and you don't have to, you don't have to wear a Whoop, track your sleep, get B12 IV injections and peptides and cryogenic chambers and all this stuff. And that's hard. That's hard to do when people don't have a lot of time. And one thing that we did when we started UMBO was to not only bring it to athletes and anybody that wants to be active, and really anybody, and you don't have to be an athlete to take UMBO, but we wanted to bring them a really high quality product, very potent with some of the best extracts you could find. Those come from my farm, Michael Love Farm, that does the extracts. I wanted to make sure we were doing it right, because when you're providing something and you're making some, not claims, but you're saying, hey, this could help you, you want to do it the best you possibly can. You want to make it accessible. I'm not really doing this to have another, make a bunch more money. I'm doing this because if we can help people get better and feel better, the world gets better. People treat people better, and everybody smiles a little more when you're not in pain, and that can have such a huge ripple effect that, I have to keep going along with what I'm doing. And it's exciting. The ones that listen and hear, they come out of the woodworks and all of a sudden now they're out there talking about it and living a better life. And so that's really the goal behind this. It's been a ton of fun. GetUmbo.com is where you can go. And, we have a lot of different ways to get the mushrooms in your body. The bars taste great because a lot of people say, ooh, mushrooms, I don't like them. They taste gross. Well, you won't taste them in our stuff. We have glycerin liquid extracts that are really good. We have capsules that are our best sellers, our sleep capsule. And there's some on the way for you, Jim. I got some samples coming. And so I'd love to hear your input, give me some feedback. And I don't ask for anything, man. I mean, you could tell your listeners, but you can also just take it, man. Feel better, sleep better, live longer. We love your show. People love hearing you, break it down and get to the root of things. So that's what I'm here for is, not only that, but, to be the best dad I can be too.
And by the way, Jake, to your point, like you want to feel good. Like I want to do the show as long as I can possibly do the show at as high a level as I can, but it's about how you feel, right? How you think, how you feel. Are you getting enough sleep? Are you getting enough rest? And if you can help me with all of that, I'm definitely on board. One last thing, you brought up peptides. Like that's the rage, peptides. I don't know that much about them other than they're not really FDA regulated just yet. I know people who do them. I know people who swear by them. Have you delved into that? Where do you come out? Is it a good idea? Not a good idea?
Yeah, I've used them on a couple occasions with some injuries to like my left toe is arthritic and painful. And I had a injury from the handball court. Actually, I tore a little ligament in my ankle. So I had some
dude, what's all that doing to your pickleball game then?
Well, I'm back on. I don't play handball anymore. That's why I'm playing pickleball, because I can play it a little longer. But the peptides, they helped. I believe it took longer than people want to wait. It took a while. It wasn't like, here I am taking these peptides and all of a sudden I was feeling amazing. It was like a 2 to 3 month process, along with some PRP, platelet injections, like stem cells into my injured areas. And, it took care of it. I'm back running around. I still can't dunk. I wish I could still get up and dunk it, but my jumping days, I think, are over. I'm going to stay on the ground as much as I can and play some pickleball. Like you said, man, just staying active, doing whatever it is, ping pong with my kids, hacky sacks coming around. So I'm getting the hacky sack back out, like move your body, move your limbs. You can be old if you want to be.
Jake, you're throwing off such good energy. Now, what I didn't know, you may not like this, but I come for Parents Weekend every year at Boulder because our son is still there and it's going to be his last one. I may hit you up, man. You may not want to see me, but you may see me nonetheless because I didn't know that you were there. I was thinking you were in Arizona, but if you're still in Boulder, I may come looking for you because this is all such good stuff, man. I appreciate you so much. I appreciate the catch up.
I'll ride my bike.
Dude.
I'll ride my bike up to the campus and say what's up.
I love it. I love it. Listen, man, I love the energy. It's all positive. It's all good. I would encourage any of our viewers and listeners to sample the product. I'm looking forward to what you have to send me. And Jake, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate you stretching out and getting caught up with you, man. That was so much fun.
Jim, thank you, man. Hey, and your listeners, if they use Jim20, go ahead and put Jim20 down. We'll give them 20% off a purchase. They can try them out. Our capsules are simple, easy in the morning and the evenings. And like I said, I'm not trying to push a product. I'm just trying to put something out there for people to hopefully feel better and do better. And I appreciate seeing you, man. It's great to be on your show.
Man,
I love joining you, man. It's been a while.
Jim20, like JIM, right? Jim20. That's our promo code.
Yeah,
I love it. Let's do it. All right, so get after that, clones. Jim20, there's your promo code. I'm going to get my product. Jake, thank you so much, man. You look great. You sound great.
Awesome.
I appreciate you.
Thank you, Jim. Peace, love, and mushrooms.